A common issue that our country faces is climate change. Climate change is regional changes that have affected the atmosphere's carbon dioxide, which is largely from burning fossil fuels. It has caused the sea currents in the ocean to change. This happens as ice from glacier melts, shifting the currents, and they have warm water, making them displace the ocean current water. The oceans are also affected as the increased heat in the air makes it easier for hurricanes to start. With more warm carbon dioxide in the air, it makes it easier with cold air, creating hurricanes and tornadoes. It also makes it easier for forest fires to start. The organic matter in trees has become more flammable and lack of water from rising temperatures. There are also extreme heat waves caused by global warming. These heat waves are caused by more CO2 entering the atmosphere and heating it up. Climate change has made the ocean rise. As the earth warms up, more glaciers are melting and contributing more water to the ocean. Climate change is a defining issue of our time, and we are at a crucial moment. Changes in weather pattern that threaten food production, rising sea levels that increase the risk of catastrophic flooding, fires that engulf vast forests, extreme heat waves and droughts, the rapid loss of biodiversity of ecosystems are all massive and have led to extinction. It threatens and has a serious impact on all life on our planet. The impact of climate change is global and unprecedented. Background information. Without drastic action today, adapting to these shocks will be more difficult and costly in the future. Climate change refers to long-term changes in the planet's average weather patterns, such as temperature and precipitation, and changes in the frequency and severity of those patterns. Global effects such as rising sea level, shrinking glaciers, melting ice caps, extreme weather events are seen as a result of rising temperatures and changing precipitation. The warming of our climate is caused by the buildup of carbon dioxide and the other greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. The gas traps heat by forming a blanket around the Earth like gas in a greenhouse. These gases remain in the atmosphere for many years. As they accumulate, the temperature of the planet increases. Second, as the world warms, feedback loops can accelerate global warming. The melting of polar ice means less heat is being reflected from the sun back into space. There are steps we can and will take to limit our own use of unsustainable energy and encourage others to do the same. However, this is limited by available resources and the scale of government cuts that Congress must address. The Hastings Autonomous Region Council is committed to taking strong leadership in this regard and aims to achieve a carbon neutral Hastings. The strategy is a citywide goal, and we want to create a common vision that does not belong to any one organization. Sunrise Movement is also trying to fight climate change. They were founded in April 2017. Most members are in politics. In 2018, they persuaded politicians to support renewable energies. Those who didn't were replaced by Sunrise Movement members. The movement has also gone around politicians' houses in the early morning and protested. They also supported the Green New Deal, which will have the government try and stop climate change and create jobs in the process. The deal will also help the economy. Everyone in the group supports the Civilian Climate Corps. The Civilian Climate Corps is dedicated to fighting climate change and providing people with jobs that fight climate change. The group has a petition for Joe Biden that will have him choose lobbyists that are supporting climate change. The pro-climate change lobbyists can then persuade the rest of the Senate to support climate change. They came to Ms. Feinstein and protested in her office. The group asked for action to save the earth. One of the ways I can persuade the government is by hiring a lobbyist to argue in a government building in my place. Another process is to convince them by protesting outside of a government building. This can also be done by joining Greta Thunberg's challenge, protesting outside of government buildings on Fridays. I can become a politician and try to persuade other government issues to solve climate change. The Sunrise Movement has a letter that anyone can sign, which asks the politician to sign an order. The order will have the government create jobs which would stop climate change. I can vote for the Canadian Green Party. The Green Party believes in stopping climate change and supporting the environment by using less CO2. I can support the Green New Deal. The deal demands that the government place laws on CO2 emissions and support the environmental programs, and do all this by creating jobs. I could join the Sunrise Movement and help teach people about climate change so I can vote in support of it. I can also join the group in protesting on politicians' homes. As we know, the three sources that most contribute to climate change are the burning of coal, oil, and natural gas for electricity, transport, and heating. Considering that over the years, climate change is caused by different human activities, it's caused different environmental problems in different countries of the world. Citizens of different nations and different companies have been committed to supporting and implementing solutions to reduce the effects of warming, such as the implementation of the use of electric cars to reduce the emission of harmful gases to the ozone layer, the reduction of meat consumption, the reduction of the volume of garbage, always turning off the light before leaving an environment, and several other actions. Some companies have been trying to make a difference to the causes and bringing efficiency to it are. Carbon Engineering CE, company founded in 2009 by Professor David Keith, who has been investigating together with others direct air capture as a way to reduce the emissions of gases contribute to global warming, given that the world's population has been growing every few years. More times the government would have to bring emission rates to zero, but would require the removal of coal from the atmosphere. With that, David found it easy to make a concept real life. The company has a mission to create and market a technology that captures CO2 directly from the atmosphere on a megatonic scale. Charm Industrial is a company created in 2017, founded by Kelly Herring, Sean Mahan, and Peter Reinhardt, where what was simply a mere concept developed to turn agricultural waste into renewed industrial hydrogen. The company's founders got to know each other and individually awakened the objective of preventing climate change, which was one of the reasons that brought them to found the company. The company's main mission is to offset its carbon footprint. Climeworks CO2 Remover Company was founded by engineers Christopher Gerbaud and Jan Wurzbach on the company's mission to influence a large number of people to remove CO2 from the world. The company's air machines capture CO2 with a special filter. That's how they heat the machine to capture the CO2. Once the CO2 is captured and mixed with water, after that is pumped underground where the process continues and CO2 is turned into rocks and no longer contribute to CO2. References were The Very Secret History of the Sunrise Movement by Zara Hergy in 2021, and A Guide to a New Green Deal, MISE Decree Incentives 2022, Dante, and IPCC Climate Change's Report to Sound Warnings on Impacts 2022, Matt McGrath.